Director Chopra, last month the New York Times ran an article with a headline calling you, quote, Wall Street's most hated regulator. And that bankers believe that you are a regulator gone rogue. Do you agree with the characterization that you are Wall Street's most hated regulator and a regulator gone rogue?
Certainly not, but you'll have to ask them. We try and make sure that all of our work is really with the public interest in mind, including honest financial institutions.
Thank you for that. I want to say this to you because I feel this very strongly about all of our federal regulators, is that, in my view, your first responsibility is to help those who you regulate comply with the regulations, and that your entire approach to that regulated community that you deal with should be to empower, enable, inform, educate, facilitate their compliance with the regulations that are intended to protect the consumers of this country. Do you agree with that observation?
Yes, and in fact, we spend much more of our energy on supervision, and most of the issues are not dealt with in litigation or enforcement actions. In many cases, they are when they're serious or repeat offenses, but we do take that as examiners looking at where there are issues and being constructive about how it can be fixed.
So I worry then a little bit. I know earlier in your remarks you highlighted the amount of fines that you've recovered from the regulated community. And so
Restitution.
I just would caution you that I don't think that's the objective. I don't think that's what we ought to be measuring your success by. So I think actually compliance with a regulated community that understands what they're supposed to be doing to protect consumers, that's the goal. And that's what I'd like to hear, is measures that affirm the agency's understanding, the Bureau's understanding.
Well, and just to comment on that, we have really focused on repeat offenders and others. We're not trying to target with gotcha actions. I saw that at the Federal Trade Commission, where that agency had a history of targeting small businesses, strong-arming them into settlements. We just are taking a very different approach.
Well, thank you. Director Chopra has already come up today. I'm sure you're aware, of course, of the FDIC Inspector General starting an investigation into the extremely serious workplace misconduct allegations first raised by the Wall Street Journal. As a board member of the FDIC, will you commit to fully cooperating with any requests made by the FDIC Inspector General regarding their investigation?
Oh, of course, and in fact, we'll cooperate with all sorts of inquiries on this.
Thank you. And will you commit to fully cooperating with congressional investigations into workplace misconduct allegations at the FDIC, including promptly turning over any requested information and documents?
Well, as always, we will work with you to accommodate your requests. Obviously, it's another agency. We have the CFPB, but you're right, I'm a board member, so we will do our best to accommodate that.
Thank you. And Director Chopra, have you ever been investigated for workplace misconduct?
I've never been a target of an investigation. Of course, where there has been issues, there's lots of IG, other investigations. We always cooperate, but I've never been a target of one.
Do you believe that consumers should have the financial freedom to make their own financial choices as long as loan terms are clearly disclosed?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think we want consumers to have lots of choice and to be able to compare one with the other. I think in the digital economy, there is new issues about how they can present certain information, so-called dark patterns. But yeah, we want to give consumers that informed choice.
Thank you. And as our time winds down here, would you help to explain how you and the Bureau are ensuring that the costs of regulations and other CFPB actions do not outweigh any potential benefit, especially since those costs, of course, will likely be passed on ultimately to the consumer?
Well, we never want to do something that makes the public work worse off. I think your colleague asked me a question about, when there's benefits. Congress had passed the Debt Bondage Repair Act, which the CFPB implemented. that's about a human trafficking survivor getting their life back. It is sometimes hard to put a dollar figure on it, but we do our best in the required analyses in those rules.
Thank you very much, and I yield back.